to Discourse, they are not separated or they're not divided, but they are inserted in, let's say, lessons which revolve around skills: reading, listening, speaking, and writing. Okay? We are going to try this activity here. So, what is it that you see? Sorry? This is a symbol famous. Where is this symbol famous for? Where is this? Sorry? And this is related to the?
Subway.
Exactly, the tube, the subway, the underground. Yes. And what is this actually? A piece of cake. Okay. So you see the cake here? Yes? You see that there is something missing here. What is missing here?
Piece of cake.
Is this a literal piece of cake or a metaphorical piece of cake? The idea is metaphorical, but here you have a picture of a cake. Yes, and it goes like this: easier to use ticket machines. So what is this? So what is this about?
Downsizing.
Huh? So tell me more about this.
Getting rid of people is technology we're moving into and using machines. Downsizing.
Okay.
What it's called.
All right. So this is a possibility.
But it could be also education. It's trying to teach the users how to use a ticket machine.
Yes, they are. And this is what we are going to do now. Let's imagine that we are all responsible. Let's imagine we are the group who actually originated and created this piece of ed over here. Okay? In pairs, you are going to think of the dialogue in the creation, the dialogue or questions or dialogues that might have happened when we were creating this. Okay? So, for example, this is the final product. Okay? Before the final product, when we were discussing to create this, can you think of possible questions and answers or possible interactions that could have happened before we get to this? For example,
how can we influence people to use machine?
well, I don't know, maybe if we try to tell them it's easy.
So let's tell them it's a piece of cake.
Well, it can be, but how are you going to do that? So you see, this is what you're going to do with your partner. Okay? Let's give it a try. 2 minutes. Go. Not if you don't want to.
And then not to be afraid. And then especially it's something that and the sign, for example, clear and very friendly. And because it's always in the language, so we need it's fun.
Also, you have to create an habit. They want to solve the results. And we can just there's a dialogue. English session.
But there are something cultural. I don't know about time because you're foreign.
Like tonight,
There's always some
we could like some people that are selling tickets by machine with or
decided to be and then there's something about
and we need to make a funny act.
I always wanted to tell people need to understand the concept by looking at instead of reading it. So we can possibly do we could make a pizza.
So we eat the pizza and then
But we had and the other person
Okay? Guys, can I hear some examples of dialogue?
Hour went around and around.
But what kind of questions or what sorts of ideas were you actually exchanging?
We were part of the British government trying to create a new campaign.
Ah, okay. So what were you talking about?
What can I do?
What can I do? But okay.
How?
Okay, but
What would you suggest for our next campaign?
or
I would suggest an aggressive campaign that is thought-provoking.
okay. Listen, aggressive, thought-provoking.
Creative,
Okay.
for me, creative.
But why?
But are you going to do it or are you going to contact the company? Marketing company.
It's a possibility. What other questions?
How much of money are you going to use?
Okay.
Yes, money. How long does it take to be? You don't complete.
Yes. What else?
To make people pay attention to it.
Okay. And what else?
what are the intentions?
Say that again.
The intention of the
How would you connect to people? Oh, you would have to relate to food. Oh, do you think that relating to food makes people pay attention? It always does.
Okay.
Yes, but relate to food because the seafood is round.
Okay. Is this relating to food only?
No.
It's related to food also too?
Idiots.
Exactly. So,
Give me
sorry?
a coin.
A coin.
Yes,
Token.
A token, a coin, yes. So, when we do this activity, an activity like this with our learners, what are we doing as teachers? We did an activity, right?
Yes.
What was the activity?
So we're creating dialogue.
Yes.
To create a,
Dialogue.
and what was the objective of the dialogue?
To build
Questions about the campaign.
As if you were creating this.
Yes.
When you are creating something, what is it that you have to think about?
cohesion, coherence.
Say that again.
Cohesion, coherence.
More than that.
The context.
Say that again.
Context.
The context.
And make people do it. And make
But before vocabulary, for example, his campaign can be a bit different from yours because he wanted to be.
Aggressive.
Yes. So what was his intention?
Be more direct.
Exactly. If my intention is being a bit more direct, am I going to use similar or different words if you compare to somebody's intention who is not being that direct? Question again. He wants to be a bit more aggressive. He wants an aggressive campaign. The choice of words he's gonna use, is it similar or different?
Different. More direct.
Exactly. If we do that with our learners, what is it that we are showing them? Yes, what am I showing my learner?
The purpose.
Sorry?
The purpose of the information, the message.
And
What's
we-
your
The use
intent?
of language.
And we are talking about the use of English, the language. We are focusing on the use of language, and more than that, we are telling students the language may change if our purpose or if our attention is different. If this is true, are we going to have one way to describe something?
No.
No,
Zillions.
exactly. Right? So if we think of a discourse approach to language, there is no right answer or wrong answer. There is, okay, so we have this sentence. Does it fit our purpose or not? And then when you correct and you give feedback, you can say, guys, this sentence is fine, but what was our purpose? Talking about life experiences. So maybe using I have already been is better than I was there. So you are teaching learners to use language to fit a specific and not the other way around. You are not teaching grammar for them to achieve a purpose. You are teaching them the purpose and language as a consequence of the purpose.
Can you repeat that, please?
It was recorded, and in the recording it's going to be much better than I will try. Wait, so the idea here is that sometimes when we teach learners in course books, we teach them the present perfect to express experiences in our lives. It has to be the other way around. We have to talk about experiences in our lives, and as a consequence, we will choose present perfect because it fits our purpose best or better.
Experience in general life.
It's a matter of purpose.
Discourse.
Yes? Okay? Clearer? Yes? So, that said, another interesting way of talking about discourse is by analyzing its genre. Have you ever heard this term before?
Yes.
What is this about?
Some type of spoken. Sorry.
That's okay. Yeah, next time, don't give the definition. Yes, Karina, lesson
Yeah, small
learned.
problems would anticipate that.
Oh yeah. But then again, okay, so if genre is a type of spoken or written discourse, can you give me types of different sorts of genres?
So we do have newspapers,
Okay, a bit more specific than newspapers. What can we find?
scientific papers.
Okay.
Talk between
For
among
those teenager
friends.
magazines.
Ah.
Written for specifically for teenagers. That could
So
be-
we have articles.
Yes.
Articles for teenagers magazine.
Yeah. Articles for
Summary.
scientific.
So is it the same when you read an article on Veja and when you read an article on a specific? It's different, right? They're different genres,
Yeah.
different approaches
Different approach.
to the subject. Okay? So the idea of a genre is that it can be recognized by people from a culture. If I say, oh, but take a look at this new kind of genre, and I'm the only one who knows this, is this genre?
No,
Not yet, not now. Can it be a genre in 10 years from now?
Maybe.
Yes, maybe, why not? So if you take a look, this again is Thornbury, for you to consider something to be, let's say, for you to think of genre analysis, it has to be established. We have to agree on particular rules. It has to be conventionalized, more than established, so you have to know how to recognize this particular genre. And, sorry, there is a typo here, it's grammar. Sorry, not grammar, grammar. It has specific features of grammar and or lexis. For example,
Me.
oh, sorry.
Thank you.
For example, what's this?
Text message.
Text messages.
You can pretty much recognize this everywhere, right? Okay, so can you tell me some very specific grammar and lexical grammar lexical features of these?
You may use acronyms.
There you go. What else?
There's no
They use
rules.
short formal language.
Yes. What else?
There's no formal rules.
No formal rules. But again, there are no formal rules. There are informal rules. For example.
More than informal.
rules, I think.
Oh yes. There are rules.
More than informal.
And then the first one.
What is one rule? What is one rule when it comes to messages? Are they long?
Short.
Short.
Right? What about these things over here? Are they acceptable?
Always.
Yes.
It's necessary. We're gonna avoid misinterpretation.
Yes.
Okay, so the older you are,
It's shorter the conversation.
or the more emojis you use, because you have never seen them before and you start working with the emojis. And my stepdaughter, for example, when she sees my emojis, she goes like, Chia, you don't know you don't know how to use them, do you? I was like, no, I just like that all, and I start putting on. So this young generation, they know how to use emojis, and I don't. So
There is emojipedia.org.
yes. Thank you. I'll work with my emojis. I mean, from now on. Okay, so the idea here, this we have already. I mean, we talked a bit about this. So what kind of genre is this?
It's an ad.
Yes. Can you give me specific features of an ad? Say it again. Yes.
It's also short.
Yes.
Persuasive language.
Yes.
It has a easy vocabulary, so anyone who reads it can understand it.
Or depending on the ad, just the opposite.
Yes.
You will need
only
some-
the people that you want to achieve will understand what you're talking about.
Exactly. If you think of Game of Thrones fans, or if you think of Big Bang Theory fans, I mean, we might have a play with words
Yes.
over here as well. So play with words are acceptable here. If I have play with words here,
Yeah, you can do it too. It's okay.
and it's, but again, you will, if there is a play of words here, we might let's say consider that the relationship between these people here is a bit more intimate.
Intimate, yeah, it's close.
Yes, because for us to start working with, I mean, humor, we need some sort of
Connection, like I need to know what the other person likes.
yes. What, right? In here we have a
Recipe.
restaurant. A recipe. The specific features of a recipe. No, but it's specific.
Instructions.
So say that again.
The instructions that you have to follow.
Can we have a recipe without instructions?
No. Must be concise.
It's not a recipe. Okay.
Must be concise.
Oh, you must also use measures.
Oh yes. So if you do not know the vocabulary related to these, we have to find.
And also the verbs are in the imperative form.
There you go. There you go.
You must
Okay.
describe a young
There you go. Sorry? So, in here, we have a dialogue. And I'm going to play the dialogue so that you follow. Because it's, again, a type of, this is a type of genre. And a spoken one. And we'll be talking about this. Okay? So, this is a dialogue between these two people here. Do you know who they are?
just the guy.
Oh, yeah.
They call it Kilimanjaro fellow.
Yes.
The guy.
So here we have, oops. Here you have,
Nicole
Kidman.
and who is she?
An actress.
Okay. And who's he?
Jimmy Fallon.
A chatterbox.
And who's he? I mean, what does he do?
Presents a
A
talk
lot of things.
He's a talk show host.
Yes, so if he is a talk show host, and if she's an actress, if you take a look at where they are, what is happening here?
Interview.
They are having a conversation.
Oh, yes.
There must be nice expressions and funny language.
So I'll show you part of an interview, and we're gonna pay attention to what's happening in this discourse. Okay? Oops, sorry.
Your version.
Do you remember this? It was really embarrassing for me. I don't know if you remember this, but we met before.
Oh, I remember.
Sorry.
Do you remember this? It was really embarrassing for me.
Yes.
It was?
Yeah.
Do you want me to tell
I have not seen you since then.
I have not.
Right?
That is correct.
No.
But this is years ago, and do you want me to tell my version of the story?
Yeah, you tell your version.
I'm walking down the street in New York City.
Yeah.
My friend Rick calls me and says, "Dude, what are you doing?" I go, "I'm just walking down the street." He goes, "I have Nicole Kidman with me, and she wants to meet you for maybe to be in Bewitched or something like that." So I go, "What? Okay." She goes, "I can be in your apartment in like 10 minutes." I go, "You're going to bring Nicole Kidman over to my apartment?" I'm like, "Okay, I don't know. What do I do? What do I have something? What do I do?" He goes, "I don't know. Just get some cheese and crackers or something."
Okay? So, very briefly, with the person next to you, what was happening between the two of them? So, what kind of conversation that we're having?
Karina, were you talking about cocaine? Am I right?
No.
Really?
Yeah.
Bring
I
some
understood.
cocaine inside of my apartment.
I understood
Some cheese
cocaine.
on it.
No.
No, he said bring some cheese and crackers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Unless that's code for something like
Yes.
Yeah.
it's code.
No, there
Only
no
you know.
no
Cheese and
drugs.
crackers is cocaine.
No drugs, guys. No drugs whatsoever.
Don't do drugs.
So what was the idea? They were. What was happening?
About something that's happened in the past.
Oh yes.
So when they first met each other.
He remembers something.
Okay.
We're talking about
Trying
a
to
memory.
make her rewind that moment.
She knows what happens, but she told him to tell his side of the story. She was feeling a bit uncomfortable.
She
Like,
laughed.
Yeah. He was kind of nervous, kind of blushing a little bit.
yeah.
Yeah. Because he went like, I don't know if you remember this, but we met before. And then she went like, oh, I remember. Put her face as like, and I said, do you remember this? Because this was really embarrassing for me. And they said, oh yeah. And it was. And she said, yes. Do you want me to tell? I have not seen you since then. There's a typo here. You had not. You had not. And then she said, right, that's correct. No, but years ago, do you want me to tell my version of the story? Yeah, you tell your version of the story. And then he starts, what is he doing here?
He starts telling the story. Yeah, he starts describing what happened.
Exactly. And do you do this? Do you describe things that happen to you? To your friends?
Yeah, so I was talking to my friend and she said like, oh hey, and then I was like, and then you try to make the person who is listening to you understand what happened. So you
Okay.
need to give them the context.
So, is this something that is, let's say, written or spoken discourse?
Yes.
Spoken, right? This is typically found in spoken discourse. And what is the name of this when we are telling stories about our past to other people?
Reporters.
You can use reported speech to do this, but this is not reported speech.
Storytelling.
Storytelling can be something related to, let's say, Snow White, or it can be storytelling, but I mean, when you say storytelling, we think of Snow White, Three Little Pigs, and so on and so forth. When you have a story that is your own story, not anyone else's.
You're narrating the facts.
That's just a book. Whereas it's
Remember.
We call it anecdotes,
Oh yes.
right? Yes? So telling anecdotes,
Now it's
telling anecdotes is a sort of genre. Anecdote is a genre, right? And let's see, this activity here is something for you to do with your learners. This activity here is something that we can use as teachers to prepare ourselves. So let's imagine one of your listening tasks from the course book you are using is a conversation, is an anecdote, just like this one here. Okay? You are a teacher and you have to prepare yourself for the lesson. So, how do we organize anecdotes? How is an anecdote organized? If you are telling a story, what is the general